right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. Alright, so I wanted to talk about a thought I was having. I wrote this down in my notes some time ago, but there were some things I was thinking through yesterday that caused me to say, you know what, I'm gonna do that one show there that I was thinking about, because this is something I think about all the time. It's not even it's not something that just popped up in my mind. It's something that I constantly think about. And I wanted to put it on wax, as they say. So I was I was, with the current climate of the internet, I'll say, where you have these different podcasters and talking heads, and you hear all of these different conversations about relationships and high value man this and on one end, and men ain't shit on the other end, and it's just this constant back and forth with men and women on the internet nowadays. um, and in listening to the arguments, right, and in particular the arguments on the women's side, uh, it's very there's no direction in the things that they want, right, or the things that they say that they want. There is no congruency to the things that they say they want, right? And um, like I said, I think about this all the time, and the conclusion I've come to is that they don't necessarily want anything. They don't they don't want any of the things that they're talking about. Really, what they want is power. They want control, because they somehow think that that power or that control protects them from being harmed or from being hurt. And when a woman has power and a woman has control, or when someone who only is concerned with power has control, it's not good for anybody that's in their way, right? And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit first, and then I'll kind of expand on it a little bit. So I wanted to go to what is that? I think that's how you spell it. Oh, you want to lag today, huh? Bear with me for a second. This internet is going slow. This is yep. This is 1 Timothy 2:12. It says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Right, and really, that's what's happening today. Matter of fact, I wanna go to another one. Yep. it's lagging on me. This is Jeremiah 31:22. It says, "Yep, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." And we're in the full culmination of that today, right? Where women are the leaders of the charge, so to say, right? And you can look at the amount of chaos that exists, right? And you can see that it is not a good thing for the woman to lead the charge, right? Because her only concern is the control. Her only concern, excuse me, is having the authority or usurping the authority of the man, right? And this is why the Heavenly Father put certain rules and regulations in place, so that can be maintained, right? Because these are the types of things that women do. Let me go to, I think it's in Timothy's again. Let's do this. think that's how you spell it. It's lagging today, man. We'll deal with it. This is 1 Timothy 5:13. It says, and with all they learn to be idle. Actually, let me go up in here because there's a lot in here. Yep. This is 1 Timothy 5:11. It says, but the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off. Excuse me. Because they have cast off their first love. I'm sorry, their first faith. And withal, they learn to be idle. Yep. Wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Right? So because these women are like this, right? They're busybodies, they're tattlers, speaking things what they ought not. They need to be occupied, right? Their minds need to be occupied with the things of the family, right? So that these things can be held under control, right? It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan, right? And so this is their main concern, and this is my opinion, of course, that they're mainly concerned with just the control and the power that they've watched men have, right? But the difference is, or let me say it this way, what they're not noticing and what they don't realize is that when you have authority or when you have power, there has to be a certain level of benevolence in you, right? Because you have to worry about or be concerned about things other than yourself, right? And that's what I want to get into, right? Because Esau or the powers that be today act just like this, where their only concern is the power. Their only concern is being in control and regaining that birthright that was given to Jacob. That's been their only concern. They don't care about judgment. They don't care about righteousness. They don't care about the people that are under their authority. They only are concerned about the power that comes with being in authority, right? So I wanted to go to, what is this? Yep. Actually, before I go to these, I want to go to, let's go to, open up another one of these. Let's go to Ezra. Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Oh, no, that's not Ezra. It's Esther. I'm sorry. Esther. All right. I'm going to read a little bit of this. It's a short chapter, so just bear with me. This is Esther 3:1. It says, after these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him, and all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, right? So Haman, right, was given a certain level of authority. He was given a certain level of power here, right? So much so, right, that the king Ahasuerus gave everybody the decree that said, look, you got to bow to Haman, right? He is second only to me, right? It says this, that then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? He's like, look, man, what you doing, man? Why you ain't bowing down to this guy Haman? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, right? For he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath, right? And really, this is what the woman is doing, right? They want control over the man, and if a man can't buy me this, and the man can't do this for me or provide that for me, he ain't no real man, or what have you, right? And so they have this wrath inside of them, right? The same way here, or let's take it this way: if you don't speak to praise this image, like when I think of the black woman, I think of I think of what's my Big Mama from Soul Food. That's what I think of. She's the image of the black woman. And if you don't reverence that image, you somehow are not worthy to be a human being, right? And so they have this wrath, right? And so this is where it comes from, right? It's the same wrath that built up in Haman when he wasn't being reverenced, right? So let's keep going. It says, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. Right. So with because he wasn't reverenced, right? Because his power or his authority wasn't recognized by Mordecai, he wanted to destroy people, right? And that is not what someone in power and authority needs to do. Someone who's in power and authority, right, should treat the people well, right? Because like you think of it like a business, right? Any organization that exists, um, their power is in the people, right, and their temperament and their thought process, right? Because if you don't have good employees who have a good mindset, right, what's going to happen? Your company fails. And likewise, as a ruler, right, if the people that are under your authority are not happy about you in authority, what happens? The kingdom crumbles, right? What's that other scripture that we go to often? I think it's Proverbs 29:2. Sometimes the internet don't do what you want it to do. That's how you know we're spoiled these days. You want to click on something and you want to see it after you push that click. um, Come on now. Oh, yep, here we go. Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, right? But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, right? So when as a ruler, your people should be in a state of rejoicing, like, oh, I'm glad this guy is the one who's the ruler over us, right? Because righteous judgment is being executed, right? This is what you should want from a ruler, and this is what you should think about when you have authority or when you have power, right? Um, so let's keep going. I want to give you another example, another bad example before I get into some of these other things here. So this is what is that? Oops. What is that? Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go here first. What is it? I'm gonna start at the top here. This is not what I was thinking of, but yeah. Let's go here. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, right? And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him, right? And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, right? So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. You see? Why were evils multiplied on the earth? Because they weren't worried about judgment, right? They weren't worried about righteousness. They weren't worried about heavenly reverence. They were only worried about their own reverence and people following them. And this is why they fought amongst each other for who was going to be, who was going to have more land or who was going to have this territory. They fought amongst each other, right? So this is kind of a glimpse into that, right? Where you have these four rulers who they were only concerned about their own reverence and their own power. And it's funny because when you go into some writings about the Roman emperors, the 12 Caesars, right? That's mentioned in Second Ezra 11 and Second Ezra 12. When you go into the secular history and you read about them, there's some scholars that point to this, that they weren't concerned about ruling the people, right? You had the first, who was, I think, Augustus, who ruled the longest, right? His concern was his kingdom and his people, right? And this is why he ruled for such a long time. But everyone after him didn't rule for very long, because their only concern was the power and the authority. Reverence me, right? But those writers, some of those writers, they say that, they became emperor, got a villa off in the suburbs somewhere, didn't even concern themselves with what was going on in Rome and in the other provinces that Rome ruled over, but they would be having sex orgies, and that's all they concern themselves with, man. The authority and the power, right? And this is really what their plight is. Their plight is to rule over the whole world so they can be in control and they can be in power. But they forgot about the benevolence of a ruler. They forgot about the righteousness that has to be executed, the judgment that has to be executed, right? Um, so I wanted to talk about Antiochus. This is the reason why I picked up First Maccabees here, but I wanted to go down to and if my memory serves me correctly, I haven't read it in a while, but if you go to Second Maccabees, it tells you, right, that Antiochus, he went to go fight somewhere else first, and he lost. He lost the battle. I believe I'm saying the right story. If not, bear with me. But when he lost, he came back. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna fuck with them Jews." So again, he was mad because his power was being challenged, right? Same thing. Matter of fact, with I got another example after this. Let me go to it now because I'm gonna forget. I think it's in here. Let me see. I think it's yeah. I want to see how he responds. Bear with me for a second here. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm just trying to find a good spot to start. Yeah, here we go. All right, we'll start right there then. Yeah, we'll start right there. I'm gonna hold this because I'm gonna forget this other one, so I wanna help myself out here. So this is go to Judith here. This is Judith 5:1. It says, then was it declared to Holofernes, right? So Holofernes is like, yeah, okay, it says it here, the captain of the army, right? And so he was given some level of authority, right? And what he was doing was for, I forget who was the ruler. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Who was the ruler in this time, or who did basically Holofernes work for? Nebuchadnezzar here. Yep. And so he went on these campaigns, right, to basically conquer lands for the Assyrian kingdom, right, or the army of Assur, right, which is I think Assyria, right. And so he went on these different campaigns, surmounting up all the lands, and basically was on a mission of, like Beanie Siegel in that movie, not paid in full. What is it? What is the name of that movie? I can't remember. I'm sure trying to remember that movie. But his sentiment was either you get down or you lay down. And that was Holofernes is his that was his sentiment, right? He was going around all these places. Look, the kingdom gave me some power, and either you get down or lay down. Now, if you bow down to us and let us, assume you right as a province, then you'll be fine. But if not, we gonna fuck y'all up. And this was his thing, right? So let's go. Let's read this a little bit, right? So it says, this is Judah 5:1. It says, then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and had laid impediments in the the Champagne countries, right? Or Champagne countries. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast, and he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons. Uh, did I pass it? I think I did. I'm just reading good. So see, he says, wherewith he was very angry, right? So here it is, like, who the fuck are these Jews? Everybody else done bowed down to me, but who are these guys, right? Because they didn't honor, right, his authority, right? And even so, they hired somebody from Moab to tell them, when you go down to 17, I think it's 17. Let me see. Oh, it is up there. Okay. So, yep, 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 yep. So they hired this guy Achior, right, to tell him, like, look, man, what's up with these Jews? Like, who do they they think they are, right? And so Achior goes through the history, right? He tells them, like, look, man, these are the people, when their power is with them, when their God is with them, ain't nothing you could do. And and Holofernes was so mad that after Achior was done, he was like, man, just kill this nigga, man. Just kill this dude. That's how mad they were, because their authority wasn't being reverenced, right? And this is the way you understand um what the main concern of the person who's usurping authority is, when they're only caring about their reverence, their own personal reverence, and not the people that are underneath their authority, right? Like you get these mothers, right, and even fathers too, right, where they'll tell their kids, I'm your father, or I'm your mother. I don't care what you say. I'm the one who's setting the rules around here. They don't care about whether or not they're right or wrong. They only care about their authority, right? It even tells you that in what is that? I think it's Hebrews. I think it's Hebrews 12, where it says something to the effect of what's this? It says something to the effect of, in Hebrews, your fathers, your earthly fathers, they chasten you for their own sakes. I want to go to that, because that's a good point there. Of course, this thing is let me just go to one of these ones that's open. I don't want to go to that one. I didn't read that one yet. Yeah, I went to this one. Let's go here. Let's go to what is it? I just said it. Hebrews 12. They both swirling. This one open, out open. Let's see, it's already up here. Hebrews 12 and yeah, boom. This is Hebrews 12 and 9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Right. So your earthly parents, they're concerned about their own good, their own reverence, the children reverencing them and listening to them and doing what they say, whether they're right or wrong. Right. And that's really these examples that we're given. Right. So let's go back to Maccabees and talk about this guy Antiochus a little bit. Just bear with me for a second. I just want to kind of comb through this a little bit. I don't want. Boom. This is First Maccabees 1:41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Right. So he's not caring about the people that are under his authority here. He only cares about his own reverence. Right. And I don't know if it was this Antiochus, but um the one who ended up getting his stomach rotted out. Eddie Murphy said in that movie. you know so you get you got this guy who didn't give reverence to the Heavenly Father. He wanted the reverence for himself, and the Lord killed his ass, man. you know so what kind of ruler should you be when you have authority, when you have power? You should be one that executes judgment. You should be one that executes righteousness, right? I wanted to go to this one first. What is this? I can't remember what I was getting at here. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 23:5. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Right? And this is what we're waiting for. This is why we're waiting so vehemently for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because we understand that the Lord is going to rain judgment and execute judgment and justice. Right? And I was saying this to myself yesterday. I said, I forget what I was shaking my head at. I saw something that just fucking, what was it, man? Set me off. I said, you see, this is why I can't wait until the rule of the Heavenly Father reigns supreme in the earth. That was my statement. And that's what we're waiting for, man. We want righteousness to reign supreme in the earth. Okay? Yeah, let me read this next verse. It says, in his days Judah shall be saved, right? And Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called the Lord of righteousness, right? So let's keep going on that point. What was this one? I can't remember which verse it was. Yep. Boom. The first verse here. Isaiah 32:1. It says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. Right? And so this is what we're looking for. A righteous king. A righteous ruler. Right? And so I got another couple of examples here. This is when the Queen of Sheba came to visit Solomon, and she says something, right? that's very important here. So I'm going to read a little bit of this just so you can get the body of the story. Oh, shit, man. This phone keep buzzing. This is sorry, First Kings 10:1. Salaki, I was letting that phone distract me. It says, and when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices, and very much gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her all the questions that, there was not anything hid from the king, which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent, by which he went up unto the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. And she said to the king, it was a true report that I heard in mine own land of the acts and of thy wisdom. Of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit, I believed not the words until I came, and mine eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard. And here's the point here. Happy are thy men. Happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy power, which delighted in thee, to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice, right? So this is the way a king should behave himself, right? A king should have servants that are happy to be his servants, right? She said look, this was the attendance of his ministers, right? So that how they attended to him and how they were there and everybody was present and happy to do their job, right? That's a real ruler, man. That's what power is about. That's what authority is about. Taking care for the things and people that are under your authority. Not just the reverence, right? You got rulers in the world today that are only concerned about their reverence, not taking care for the things that are underneath their authority, right? So I got one more here. This is yep. This is John 15:12, right? It says, actually, let me start up here. Verse 11. It says, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Right? So the Lord considered us his friends, man. And he is the ultimate in authority, right? He is being given, much like Haman was given the second in command. The Lord Yahweh Shai is made the second in command over the Heavenly Father's domain, right? Over his creation, right? Ye are my friends, and ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Right? So the Lord, being in authority, right, made us friends. What would they say? It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Right? Romans 8, and I think, of course it didn't load up as quickly as I wanted it to. Salakia, this internet is lagging today. Couple more seconds here. Okay, so this is Romans 8 and yep, I'll start at 16. It says, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together." Right? So here it is. You got both examples here, Solomon and then the Lord Yahweh Shai, making sure that the people are eating too. That's what authority is about, taking care of the people and things that are under your authority, not the power, not the reverence of the people, right? Because people will reverence you, right, if you have some level of benevolence, right? If they see that you're a good king and they see that you're one that can be followed, they'll reverence you, you know. So that's it, man. Hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Honor and salutations to the elect. And with that, I say shalom.